And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Expanse in our Fission all the way run. The stream title here is still Gas Extraction Soon. That's in the past. We're extracting gas, just like many things in the game. However, the answer is I want more. We need more. I need more to get things off of Earth, and Earth is, at least for the near term, still the place where certain important assets like humans come from. So I need the way to get humans off of Earth. And Earth, for the moment, is waiting for more hydrogen. Yeah. So we can do that Pelican launch. Oh, I suppose I might be needing to build things, right? Where am I going to send that Pelican? Well, actually, I suppose that Pelican should just go to Jupiter with more orbital, more orbital gas extractors. Yeah. Probably what we're doing. I could probably drop some hydrogen from orbit. Yeah, let's drop a little bit of hydrogen from orbit. That'll give me the hydrogen I need for the launch right now. Payload container. There we go. Here we go. So we're ready for the next launch. So. Oh, I can sell the fuel off. I don't need fuel. Sell fuel. Doesn't make much money. Fuel is intended to be cheap, after all. Festus to Jupiter. Orbit. This technically doesn't need to be coming from Earth, but the stuff I want... Oh, did I go ahead and actually launch the stuff to orbit? Or do I want more research stuff? Well, if I want more research stuff, I don't have the stuff ready, so we're doing stuff to Jupiter. No, I haven't really launched it yet, so we'll do one Pelican worth of launch to Jupiter. That's what we're doing. Add resources. So that was 900 alloy. $180 polymers and 90 electronics. Yeah. That's one Pelican load. Optimal launch window. I was only going to tie it up until September, so about... Well, we're going by the original definition of September. That'll only be 6 months. It's a little longer than that. Fine. And then, obviously, we're going to Jupiter where we make hydrogen, so bring the minimum hydrogen. So, that leaves me enough. And then we need to save up more hydrogen on Earth for the next launch. And yeah, I think what do I want to prep? Probably prep the next one to be a research lab. So if we're going for a research lab, we got the old setup, right? So, construction equipment, 5 miners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 new crew compartments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A mobile habitat. Radioisotopic generator, and a probe. There we go. Mars is almost at the done with its cube. Continue to mine the water faster and faster. Sure, I would like to get this down to about 10 years, which is a lot more mining. Probably go 20 mines at a time. I have plenty of power for 20 mines. Not doing 20 mines at a time because we run out of metal. Fair. Maybe that's an indication I should swap it back to metal production. Get metal up to 2-3 tons. I think we had 3 deposits here, and I think we've dropped on the second one is what's happened. So I'm feeling there's a lot less metal on Mars. Probably keep the orbital stuff up there. Okay. In orbit. If anything, I'd probably want to drag it back to the moon for refining on the moon. Although I don't feel that flush with hydrogen that I feel like I can drag stuff to the moon. mining module. Yeah, we're going to start putting those things on Earth. And we've got stuff pending or in transit already, so. Accelerate time, let things happen. Got 3 Verhestai flying. And we're kind of waiting for the 4th one and Jupiter have some decent hydrogen to carry with it. Okay, got a 3rd Jupiter, or 3rd Hephaestus off to Jupiter. Again, I think these are all bringing things to accelerate the hydrogen mining at Jupiter. I would like to get up to almost like 5 tons of hydrogen coming off of Jupiter a day, which is a lot of mining. Right, because we're... Okay, first, that one's arrived. Okay. Let's get the next batch queued up. Producing almost a ton, so that means we need... Let's say that it's actually 10 of them, so we need to go, like, 50 to get what I want. So, seeing as we got a second Hephaestus here, there's no point in waiting for more hydrogen to pile up, because, well, there's no point in waiting for more hydrogen to pile up. Let's get you going back to Earth. Go to Earth orbit. So the hydrogen you take with you lands in Earth orbit. And suppose we're going to just slam it all in the gas tank anyway, right? Put nothing there, everything there on the optimal transit. So 538 more hydrogen is going to arrive at Earth orbit when you arrive. There we go. 1 outbound, 1 inbound. Ganymede has carbon and carbon and water. And you have a Prometheus sitting in orbit. I actually arguably have too many Prometheuses in Jupiter at the moment because of the emergency one we sent up. Probably ideally wanted to return with the hydrogen to make the trip not particularly wasteful. So that means you... I'm close to orbit, please. You want to go to Jupiter. Orbit. There we go. Okay, Earth's got all that built up. What else do I want Earth to work on? Probably actually want to start spooling Earth production down. Like, this is probably more glass than I need being produced on Earth. That's more silicon than I need being produced on Earth. Carbon still kind of makes sense. Worst case scenario, we're going to export the carbon. Yeah, I think I'm going to scrap the glass kilns. Get the alloys back out of those. And probably scrap the silicon. We're not paying for it, but I don't need it anytime soon, so we'll scrap that as well. That frees up more workforce to be shipped off-world. And we still need the hydrogen. And I don't need the carbon as badly, but I think the carbon's worth paying for just in case I need it. There goes the Jupiter, or the Martian construction. It's done. Still have more unemployed people. I think we will continue to expand. The water. Or actually, no, I'm at the point where I need to start expanding metal production because I'm running out of metal. That's fair enough. Let's orbit to Jupiter. Okay, that's the second Prometheus arriving there. All the more reason to be getting more hydrogen. That's not the arrival in this orbit, that's the arrival in the next orbit, actually. We got 4 missions outgoing. Three of the Pelicans flying, or 3 of the Vesti flying. There's our new Martian crew, so we can continue expansion here as metal allows. We're now limited by metal, which is probably the thing to be limited by. Still want to mine the water faster, although at the moment I gotta swing back to mine the metal faster. Do you want to send that Prometheus back to Earth with the crew modules? Yes. Crew modules, empty. I have enough food, so I've been yoinking food every trip. So let's actually take 200 back. Basically, undo what we translated with. And then I'm not going to put dedicated fuel in the cargo hold, but I will take a full fuel tank. Let's just say, because we've got a decent amount of hydrogen here at Mars, and right now it's cheaper to launch off of Mars than it is off of Earth. So if I'm trying to get fuel to Earth orbit, it's actually cheaper to come from Mars than to launch from Earth. I suppose at this point I'm actually waiting for ships. More than anything. Earth orbit does have space, so let's transit. I'll pop on the moon, but technically I'm actually going to do Earth orbit. Move people up from Earth to Earth orbit. And we'll take some supplies up. Not to waste this launch window effectively. And then we drop the empty cannoners back. Alright, got plenty of food in Earth orbit for the waiting room to function. Yeah, Callisto's working. Callisto's making metal. I suppose the next transit out, I should actually go to Callisto. I should send him to Callisto. How heavy is Callisto? Too light for the rotating hab. Although it's heavy enough to run habitats. And habitats are actually, for what they are probably better. Yeah, arguably they're better. Okay. Get a habitat going. So we can have more people on Callisto. Mars to Earth is a go. Earth to Saturn, Saturn to Jupiter, or Earth to Saturn, Earth to Jupiter, Jupiter, Earth. Okay. Slowly we're generating hydrogen. I wonder if it's actually better to go to different gas giant for the nitrogen. You're 500 megatons. You're 600 megatons. Might be a little bit better to be on Jupiter, on Saturn than Jupiter for nitrogen. More orbital gas extractors on Jupiter. It's good to see, good to hear. Get that extraction going faster. Quantum computing, it's 6 months out. Habitat done on Callisto. So yeah, I think we take a transit out to Callisto with the next Hephaestus that comes in. That'll probably make us go through the carbon a little bit faster, because I'll have to make more food. But I can basically do sort of what we did on Mars on Callisto. Because you got metal, silicon, and water. A lot of water. Multiple different phases of water. Kilotons, megatons. There's not very much in the atmosphere, to be fair. You probably don't want the water that's in the atmosphere. Is that a Earth? No, that's still way out. That's going to meet up there, but that's out in the future. Out in the future. Turn the speed up a little bit because we're waiting for things to happen. I technically have enough hydrogen we could be doing launches. But I don't actually have the Hephaestus in that situation. The Hephaestus is actually camped out. There's quantum computing, so now we're into space alloys. There's only 260 days, so we'll actually have that done within the year. And then it's 2 years for the next 2 after that. Terraforming will be a year, like 2 years for the terraforming, the actual terraforming tech that'll do something. So 3, 5, 8 years. And we'll be looking for new techs. What to go for? Could go up into Magpie. I don't necessarily think Magpie is more fuel for launch efficient, though. And if we're going to spend the time, it's 4 years. It's almost the same number of years to go from there to Tetratorn, which might be what we aim for. It's a... Oh, well, actually, this one has a faster launch cadence, right? So that situation, we're looking at something where, yeah, you get lots of launch capacity. Looks reasonably fuel efficient because it's 15 kilotons or 20 kilotons, whereas this is looking 48 to 4. I think it's one of those the fuel efficiency gets better. It's also running for Kronos and a Rain. Kronos would allow me, if I put it in the right systems, to not have to build Pelicans anymore. It's a bit expensive, but it would allow me to no longer to build Pelicans. So for example, like Jupiter system, I could have one Kronos do the work of all the Pelicans in the system, which is probably useful. Right, I've got a lot of Pelicans sitting around that are necessary at the moment, but aren't being utilized very much. And a Rain is the most fuel efficient of the fission drives for transferring around. Because when we're going from 825 kms to 100. Also bigger carrying capacity, 2.5k. And then also just go for the bigger crew compartments. Yeah, we'll go bigger crew compartments. Kronos, the Rain into radioisotope. So we can start getting the radioisotopes off planet. And then it's probably into materials, because I probably want to do like electronics factories, exotic alloy production. Get these 2 facilities. Yeah, probably those two facilities, then we can just start building everything off the planet. Try to reduce our dependence on Earth at that point. Well, that's far enough off that will probably be the next stream. Yeah, I can definitely tell that my bottleneck here right now is that hydrogen production. I'm literally like waiting. I've got a queue of ships waiting for the hydrogen. Yeah, one of these Prometheus. We'll have one of these Prometheuses head back to the Earth system. In fact, I'll go straight back to Earth. One Promethei, add resources, add hydrogen, 800 tons. And I'm hoping you're fuel efficient enough that you can transit with... Yeah, no. No, you are not. Almost. Run a full cargo, you need more for the tank. Fair enough, we're not going yet. Yeah, it'll probably end up being a Festus that goes then. Because we'll probably get the next one arriving. Didn't we have an arrival? Oh, that was outbound. Outbound just arrived at Earth. Fair enough. Outbound has arrived. Well, yeah, so it's inbound. Inbound to Earth has arrived. It's now time for outbound. Once again, we're going to go for a research lab, so... find me another asteroid. So we've got Paris, we've got Aeneas. Patroclus is the last of the Trojans. Favorite you, so you're in my list. And then... oh, then I can go back to Earth, click the Hephaestus, or grab the Hephaestus and go up to Patroclus. Earth to Patroclus. Hephaestus. Add resources. Start with the radioisotope. Mobile hab. Probe. Mines. All of them. One construction module. 6 crew modules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need alloys. 100. Rares. 10. Electronics. That's glass. I also need glass. 10. Electronics. 10. Metal. 90. And supplies, because we're going to bring creating a crew along. Say 110, just to make sure they have enough for the trip. This isn't filling the ship. This is our most fuel efficient ship, so this is fine. Right up the Pelican. Optimal transit window. Try to load up enough hydrogen that you can make a return trip if you need to take everything back, which would be 140 surplus, so you definitely run less than that. Definitely run less than that. About 100 less than that at least. Again, the less I take, the less I burn carrying the fuel. Surplus fuel. That's about right. And with that, Earth is going to be waiting for its next ship. And we go back to letting time pass. Research into space alloys done. Saturn orbit. And we get another mining facility on the way. Oh, there's some stuff you can build in space, I suppose. There's no power options, because nothing that is orbit operational that uses power. That's fair enough. Okay, and this place needs to wait until it has enough hydrogen for a return trip. In December, you're going to get your next arriving Hephaestus. That's probably about when we're gonna have the previous one leave. So definitely still we got a line for the hydrogen. Although they're going more and more full, which is a good step in the right direction. Did I screw up? I've got too much electronics. I'm like 450 alloys short. Let me guess, there's like 450 alloys in Earth orbit. That's 400. Could also get 450 from Mars. That would not be a hard ask. Okay. Okay, I got some ideas. Dangerous as that may be. Yeah, I got some ideas. Prometheus. One of the Prometheuses. Please go to Mars. So Jupiter to Mars. You might as well take along some of the nitrogen, because we're going to be needing it at Mars. We can release like 30 tons of nitrogen into the Martian atmosphere. Optimal transit. We're not trying to take hydrogen to Mars. Mars currently has enough. I'd like you not wait that long to leave the Mars. I'll give you 100 tons of fuel so you can go a bit faster. At least you're leaving this month. Yeah, that's not too bad. Work. But with that, I'll go grab the 450 alloys from Mars, because we can go from Mars a bit easier. And then one of these Hephaesti wants to go back to Earth. We'll go to orbit for the moment, because I don't necessarily need... I'm not sure if I need the hydrogen on Earth. And we'll just go with the fuel tank. Take the full fuel tank. Optimal transit to Earth. Which means you are leaving pretty much now, which is perfect. 3 days out. And you're supposedly getting there with like 99 tons of fuel. Or no. 796 tons of fuel. And then you're going to be waiting for this to get closer to full so you can carry more hydrogen back with you. Okay. And then at Saturn, how much are you going to need to get back to Earth? You're not taking anything with you, so it's just, how much do you need? 36 tons. That's not going to take long to generate, but you don't have that right now. Fair enough. And then on Mars, I should be using the metal to make metal. little while after there. Saturn has another one. So there we go. So that's enough for you to make the transit. We're not going to try to drag anything back with you this time. Just want you to get back to Earth so you can pick up the next batch. Optimal transit. Well, the optimal transit right now is 50 tons. Okay. You've got that. That's fine. Room temperature superconductors is done. I think that's lowering the upkeep cost on a whole bunch of stuff. So monthly balance becomes a little less negative. Exoplanet search. So I triggered one of the conditions, presumably for the next contract. Exoplanet search. If we're to leave Sol system, we better have a place worth visiting. We need to find a potentially habitable exoplanet to send an interstellar mission to. Find a rocky exoplanet in the habitable zone. Research interstellar travel to go there. Okay. And no rush to that. I think that's because we met the prerequisite for one of the earlier texts. Probably room temperature superconductors is a prerequisite for something related to interstellar travel. Doesn't change the current plans. You outbound. Well, actually, I suppose you're sort of inbound to Mars, but outbound to Patroclus, outbound, or actually inbound. So we're in an inbound cycle at the moment. Yeah, very much in an inbound cycle. Orbital gas extractor Saturn continuing to come online. Jupiter to Mars complete. So we now have some nitrogen. What's the oxygen window? Field composition is 0.2%. Doesn't tell me exactly how much in the atmosphere, but I think we're gonna do some oxygen release. Oh, arguably there's already 1.47 tons of oxygen in the atmosphere, is there? Although, actually, how much atmosphere do we have? Probably mostly... it's mostly carbon dioxide. That's what's going on. Yeah, the pressure's really low, but it's mostly carbon dioxide. What it's going to do is going to release a mix of nitrogen and oxygen. I suppose with that amount of carbon dioxide, I'm just better off just releasing a chunk of carbon dioxide, or a chunk of oxygen. Holding onto the nitrogen for the moment. Although I could release both. Let's just release both. Probably barely moves the needle at the moment, but... Oh, there's also an argument that I should be mining the deposit for oxygen. Before I get the oxygen level too high, if I'm going to mine that oxygen deposit. 11 kilotons is non-trivial amount. So on Earth, we're waiting for ships to do the transit. Speed up time, let the Festi return. We got one sitting at Jupiter. Where's my fourth one? Proclus. It's arrived. No, that hasn't arrived. 1, 2 coming from there. 3 going to Patroclus. I'm miscounting. Okay, no, I got all 4. Or 4 of them doing something. Ah. Earth orbit has a Prometheus that's actually meant for Mars. It's retrieving people. Bring a little bit more food. Technically, it's going to get dumped, so it's fine, but make sure there's enough food for the transit, please. Please and thank you. Like, 5 days is maybe a little bit more than you should be running with. Surplus. Okay, and then the Martian... Oh, the one I have at Mars wants to be grabbing alloys for Jupiter, because I worked out I'd sent enough stuff for 3 more but not the alloys, so we need 450 more alloys for Jupiter. Interesting. Leave later but get there faster. So I'm in that window where I can't go faster without... Because it's the fastest transit window, not sooner arrival, or sooner leave. Weirdly, I actually kind of want sooner leave. That's the leave. So I can be really glacially slow and still be pretty fuel efficient, I think. But yeah, I've missed the launch window is what's going on here. And if I missed the launch window, we might as well just go for fuel efficient at this point. I'm tying up the launch window. I want the Pelican longer than I'd like, but it'll be what it'll be. Orbital gas extractor at Jupiter. We extract even faster. Superconducting magnets are done. Once again, I think that makes the monthly negative balance there even less. Spacecraft has arrived at Patroclus. And on arrival, I want you to do the good old standard outpost into space farm into research laboratory. Also Hephaestus, back. Well, this is an interesting question. Do I go back to Earth or do I go to Jupiter to pick up more hydrogen? So to Jupiter, what's the launch window look like? Technically, we're in the same orbit, so it's going to be a pretty terrible launch window, is my suspicion. Yeah, it doesn't take very much fuel. Because we're basically not... We pay fuel for speed, I suppose. Right, 7-year transit, because we gotta slow down, or... Forget if we're ahead or behind them. If we're ahead of them, we burn to accelerate so it catches up with us. If we're behind them, we burn to slow down so we catch up with them. Of course, also what that says is if I want to do the transit, I pay fuel. Because the more I change my speed, the faster we'll actually approach. Yeah, so we can get it pretty quick. But it's still a year. We're probably better off going back to Earth. Drop to Earth and then come up from Earth. Yeah, if I want to conserve fuel, it's definitely the way to do it. Because even if I were to say, use the fuel, go fast. Nah, we'll do optional minimum fuel. I don't need to worry about it too much. I don't want it spending 7 years traveling to Jupiter, let's just say. That was sort of the choice there. It's like, well, I could go to Jupiter and save a lot of fuel. But then it would take 7 years to get there. And it would take 7 years to get there. Okay, outpost is done, which means you eat less food. The farm will finish, and then you'll have food being produced. Okay, next, so that was Jupiter orbit to Earth. There's an argument that I do another launch for Jupiter. Get that mining going even faster. We are getting pretty close that I can get the Hephaestus to leave full before the next one arrives. I don't think we're quite there, but we're getting close. And then we can get sort of a rota between the two of them. We fill one up, we send it off. Next one arrives, we fill it up, we send it off. And yeah, with that we can start to slow down Earth's extraction of hydrogen, which means I can stop mining the Earth's oceans. Hopefully we haven't drained the oceans too much. We just shrunk the Earth's oceans by like 18%. We're at some point gonna want to fix that. Here, you want to go, let's say, back to Jupiter for the moment. And then this is all about resources, right? So alloys, was it 900 is 6? So it's 120 polymer and 60 electronics. Okay, so I can do another one over that. So we can do. I can't do another. No, it would be. Yes, so that's why I'm thinking 900, because it is 900. Okay. Yeah, okay. I could do it on the Hephaestus. I can't do it on the Pelican. Pelican's full. Right now I actually have the hydrogen that we're launch cadence limited by the ships, which is probably a good place to be, because I can get faster ships. In fact, I'm planning on getting faster ships. Spend more fuel to get launched. Well, mainly to get launched sooner would be the argument, right? So I'm not tying up the Pelican as long. Let's say I'm willing to pay a surcharge of 100 extra hydrogen to go faster. That's not really helping the Pelican much. Aren't sure it's April. I'd rather run April than spend extra hydrogen. Okay, we're tying up the Pelican either way. Terraforming is complete. 2 years out from being able to start on that first mission or starting the first step to Mars terraforming. Although that's a lot of power. That is a lot of power. I'm gonna have to pull up my G. 240, which I'm trying to do via solar power right now. Yeah, that's an ask. Okay, expand the metal mining, and then make more solar arrays. from Luna to Earth orbit. I want to pick up the hydrogen we've been piling up until the cargo is full. Don't pick any up from Earth. Use the Pelican on the moon. We're just dropping stuff in orbit, so you don't need anything. Then mission ends. I think we have we have 2 transits now, so 2 transits worth of the fuel there. Okay. Another solar array complete on Mars. Oh, it takes more fuel to launch. It'll be fine. Or has it already... I think it's already claimed it, okay. Just waiting for that window, for whatever reason. Oh, that's the Pelican window. That makes sense. Hydroponics farm completed on Patroclus. So now it is food positive. Yeah, you're about full. If anything, that means I can just start flying out to Jupiter empty for the moment. Or I can have the ships coming back from Saturn and the farther out gas giants stop at Jupiter. Grab on the return trip. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely time for you to come back to Earth. Sure. Vestas, add resources, add hydrogen. Lots. Launch vehicle. You're in orbit, so you don't need any. Optimal transfer. We will have you run a full gas tank, which means you get 515 tons of extra propellant left over on your arrival. Go. You have everything you need to build. No, you need. Oh no, you're building habitats. So you have everything you need to build. It's thinking, oh, I don't have what I need for the rotating habitat because I don't have the rares. Callisto has enough gravity. We're stuck with the habitats, so we use a habitat. I suppose the concern we're going to run into with habitats is we're going to need power. Although what I can do is because Callisto isn't that hard to get off of. Yeah, Callisto isn't that hard to get off. We're going to do a habitat. In fact, I already had a habitat up here, so we're building a second habitat because I can. I don't have the alloys for the vehicle assembly. I suppose that's what I should bring in. I should bring in the alloys for the vehicle assembly and a Pelican, so we can get people off of Callisto. And then what I can do then is use Callisto as my base. Well, actually, I suppose I should really be doing that with Ganymede, because I've got food being produced in Ganymede. And I've got a Pelican there already. Although then that would be going to get the metal off Callisto to get to Ganymede, so I still want the Pelican, I still want the launches and the vehicle assembly. Okay. Now that's probably what the next Vestas going outbound should do. To Jupiter. The next one I do is I should grab the stuff for the vehicle assembly for Callisto, so it actually goes to Callisto instead of Jupiter straight. Okay. But we're waiting for the Pelican launch. Waiting for the last launch, which I suppose actually is the launch window. So we're going to miss the ideal portion of the launch window. Research lab and Patroclus is done, so we're researching even faster. Solar array on Mars is complete because we're still trying to build more power on Mars. Trying to make use of the great solar panel in the sky. Second habitat close to us built. So yeah, we got definitely habitation capacity on Callisto. Okay, our Pelican... I wasn't paying enough attention. The Pelican did its launch. So Festus wants to go to Callisto. From Earth orbit. That's what I need to figure out. Well, I suppose I can do that from Earth, right? So I need vehicles. So we need 200 alloy. I need 50 rare. I need 150 alloy. No, 320 metal. For the vehicle, or for the vehicle at the vehicle assembly bay. I need another 40 metal, rare metal. For the Pelican and 32 radioactives. Don't actually have on Earth orbit, or Earth proper. I have actually in Earth orbit, but we're not launching from Earth orbit. We're launching from Earth proper. Okay. So that's the bay, that's the ship. Bay and the ship. Okay. With the bay and the ship done, I then probably actually want to bring people. Even if I'm not necessarily leaving them, well, because I still want to expand production there, right? We probably want to use the power that's there. Yeah. So how many people do I bring? I've got housing for 200, so I can just actually take whatever I can. Take whatever I can. Okay, so I can take all 200 of the things. That's actually 100 people. And we have space for 100 people, so that's fine. I'll have to bring in more carbon, probably. Actually, no, we'll probably have the carbon. I just have to build the hydroponic farms. So, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll really be fine. Yeah, that works out. That works out. Okay. Via the Pelican. When's the launch window? Yeah, I missed the launch window because I wasn't paying attention. I do want to spend more fuel to get this going faster. Well, yeah, because I'm just going to be ready for the next the launch as it is. Okay. Either way, I'm leaving in May. Okay. Either way, need to load some supplies. I'm not gonna let me go without any supplies. We pop back up here. Grab. We're bringing a lot of people, so let's say 200 food. The Pelican. We go the fastest. We leave April next year versus May. We're really not saving. Oh, we're saving in mission length. So we're saving in how long the people are in the ship, which is not the number I care about right now because I have enough food. We've packed 8 years of food on the thing. They can take their time. Okay, so we do optimal, and I said minimum fuel. If I can't move the start date, well, actually, I suppose I could move the start date. I don't necessarily think moving the start date is going to save us any. Yeah, so we got to stay in that sort of green area. Definitely doesn't save us any time. Okay, so just accept optimal. We're going to be stuck up on. We're going to lock up the Pelican for a bit, but I think that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Earth to Callisto, Earth to Mars, Mars to Jupiter, Callisto to Earth. Earth to Jupiter, Jupiter to Earth. Are all the missions we got going right now. Earth orbit to Mars. Okay, so Mars has arrived, so that means more people have arrived at Mars. I am actually over housing capacity on Mars. That's something I actually can't fix for a little while. I say over housing. The crew mod. So we can't. I can't send the crew modules back until we fix the housing issue. Is what I'm gonna do. Gotta wait until I can fix the housing issue first. We can go for the next batch. There's the Callisto launch away. That's alright. Next one going. And that's done on Mars. So now I have the capacity to actually hold the people that we've got here. So these can go back to Earth, orbit, via the Prometheus. Add those modules. That's the whole point of starting this mission. No crew. Want these empty modules so we can go get crew. Pelican to orbit. Actually, back up a little bit. We'll take a little bit of food. Oh, I'm not actually food positive right now, so we won't take any food. And I run out of food. Delay that mission. We need a different mission. Mars orbit to Phobos. I'm out of fuel in Mars orbit. Okay, that's not the problem I was expecting to have. That's a problem I can work around because I got fuel on Mars proper. So we can swap this back to Mars. I have fuel in Mars orbit, right? I got fuel on Phobos, so that's also fine. Okay. Use the Pelican because I'm gonna need some fuel from the planet. And we don't need much fuel. I literally need a ton to get to Phobos. Artificial magnetosphere is done. It's gonna be a while before we build that. What we're doing here, running over to Phobos, is I need more carbon on Mars. Phobos to Mars. Prometheus. Carbon, yes. Pelican, yes. Fuel, yes. Actually, if I take a little bit of fuel... No, we'll take the minimum fuel because we'll make the fuel on Mars. It just means I'm tied to the Pelican launch period. Demos has plenty of carbon, yeah, so just running out of carbon on Mars. Okay. Which also means the next thing I should queue up is hydroponics farm. There we go. So now I'm not worried about running out of carbon for 16 years. And when this farm is done, we'll be food positive again. Although in theory I'm... Oh, yeah, I'm just barely missing it, so it's 239 years in the future. We'll be properly positive, that'll be better. And then we can go take these modules back to Earth. Earth orbit. Mars to Earth orbit via the Prometheus. Add the crew compartment. No crew. Oops. 22 times. We'll take a little bit of food. We're technically making food, so it's not a concern that I take a little bit so that we've got more for the humans at the destination, slash for us to pick up and take back with us with the humans. So the humans have to eat on the way. Pelican, optimal flight path. I can save 8 tons of fuel if I wait forever. Let's not wait forever. 53 seems reasonable. I shipped enough crew that I don't have enough crew anymore? Yeah, I shipped enough crew that I don't have enough crew anymore. Let's acquire some more crew then. On Earth. Earth is where we acquire them from, so... that solves the crew problem. More available for hire. Earth to Jupiter, Jupiter to Earth. Those are going. I'd like to get another out to Saturn. 1, 2, 3. Patroclus has been set. Where is my... sitting in Earth orbit waiting for a launch period. Okay. We're waiting for a launch load. Not necessarily waiting for a launch period, it's more waiting for the load. Okay. So we got 3 out. We've got 2 outbound, 1 inbound, right? Earth Callisto, Earth Jupiter. Yeah, 3 outbound, 1 inbound. This one wants to go to Saturn. Saturn orbit, of course. This is again going to be carrying stuff for orbital gas extractors. Adding resources. So we're looking 900 alloy. Can't type it into electronics, we don't have that many on Earth. 120 polymer. And it's 60 electronics. On the Pelican. Optimal launch window, which has leaving in March, which means we'll immediately have a ship waiting for the Pelican the moment the Pelican does the launch. What? Oh, I'm just paying. I'm getting confused. Like, is it like 40 years? No, it's 7 years. It's a long trip. It's a long trip out to Saturn. And this is the optimal launch period. Unless I want to spend fuel to go faster. And I could actually say, hey, use all the fuel, go faster. And then it goes a lot faster. It doesn't launch that much earlier, but it goes faster. And I'm getting more and more tempted to do that, but no, we're still going to take the optimal launch here, save the fuel. Okay. And with the Eptic Stellaris music here, I think we're at a good place to put a part break in. We're now sort of working towards bigger crew compartments, so I get to click less. These are also more mass efficient. Right now, our small ones are half mass, half crew to transport the crew. We get it down to 6 parts mass to 10 parts crew. So we get a weight savings on the actual transport by going to the bigger ones, which is one of the reasons we're just going to blow right through the middle one. I think the cost savings aren't enough. Well, like the cost savings is, do you think you want to bring it back, right? 20 alloy, 100 polymer is probably expensive enough if you want to bring it back. 20 metal is less so. Okay, we're going to blow through those 2, and then we're going to grab Kronos and a Rain. A Rain we're probably going to use for interplanetary system travel, so Earth to Jupiter, Earth to Saturn, and then we'll start swapping over to the Kronos for intra-system travel. So I can sort of shift away temporarily from launch vehicles, because a lot of our outer systems, like Mars and such, we have like one ship that's going to be bouncing around them, and that could be the Kronos, for example. And then we can shortchange all the Pelicans. We don't need the Pelicans in the meantime for that. So we're gonna get in the next stream. We're gonna go to large crew compartments. We're gonna go into Kronos. We're gonna go into Rain, and then we're gonna work towards radioactive fissile mining. So I don't need to go to Earth to get all my fissiles. And then after the fissile mining, I should probably do the electronics and the exotic alloys. Where is that? Here. Electronics, exotic alloys. At which point I should basically be able to build everything I need in space to significantly reduce costs. And then we're going for some more qualitative improvements, which is definitely good to do. That's what we're going to be moving on to next after that. So yeah, I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up tomorrow. And if you're watching on Twitch, let me go over the YouTube schedule, or the Twitch streaming schedule, which I suppose is the YouTube schedule as well. So today was Solar Expanse. Tomorrow, because we finished up... now I'm forgetting the game we finished up. We finished up a game 4 days ago. 3 days ago. Well, this might be 4 days ago by now. I'm really drawing a blank on the game I finished. It's not Solar Nations 2, because that was yesterday. We did finish that up too. Which shouldn't be spoilers for YouTube. It might be spoilers to people on Twitch if they're not caught up. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Old World. I'm going to see if I can win. I just remembered what it was. I finished up the Songs of Six run. We're going to do Old World on Thursday to see if I can win without changing too much of the difficulty changes. We are going to change Civ, so it's going to be Civ change, and I think I'm going to change it to seasonal turns instead of yearly turns. So our character should live longer. So that's going to be the main change. We're going to go to seasonal turns so our characters live a little bit longer. Old World's tomorrow. Friday is Factorio. Saturday is actually going to be Solar Expanse. We're going to be moving it up a day. This is because I have a poll going for Shadow Empire to determine what we're going to be playing on Shadow Empire, and that poll ends on Sunday. So we're going to do Shadow Empire on Sunday instead of Saturday. That's going to be a temporary one-off switching, so that will switch back, assuming we don't finish Solar Expanse or Shadow Empire. I doubt we're going to finish Solar Expanse or Shadow Empire. Solar Expanse is actually probably the more likely of those two, because we've been playing it for a little while. Although we still have a lot to do. We have barely tickled the terraforming on Mars. We've started. That's about it. We've barely tickled it. We got a couple more kilotons of oxygen in the atmosphere. A little bit of nitrogen. Not enough to really get started. But that is something we will work on getting better. Weirdly, probably one of the ways to get started here is just going the CO2 out of the atmosphere. I think the priorities on Mars is get the water out of the ground. After I get the water out of the ground, I might swap over to get the oxygen out of the ground. There's less oxygen in the ground, so it's less important. But if I get the oxygen out of the ground, that'd also be nice. Pull the CO2 out of the atmosphere. Technically, from a gameplay standpoint, there's no such thing as a toxic atmosphere from gases like CO2. But actually, this would probably be low enough pressure of CO2 that you could just push enough oxygen and nitrogen in the atmosphere and it wouldn't be an issue. But CO2 is also our source of carbon. This is one way we can get carbon, is we pull the CO2 in the atmosphere and we electrolyze it into carbon and oxygen. Oxygen we need for the atmosphere, carbon we need for our people. So that makes sense. So yeah, we're going to start getting into terraforming on Mars. We're still going to be trying to drink fluids out of the gas giants. There is water in here. There's megatons of water there. There's megatons of water. Oh, Saturn has no water. Saturn has no water. All the gas giants except for Saturn have some water. So we can drink the water out of those places to put places like Earth, to put back in Earth, because we've drank the oceans on Earth. 18% already. I might want to put that back at some point. We'll undo the de-terraforming Earth, but put water on Mars. It might try to put water on the moon. I don't think the game stops you from putting water on the moon. You don't need very much water on the moon, of course. Ideal water is 0.07 Earth oceans, so 5.66 megatons. That wouldn't be too hard to do. In fact, in theory, the moon almost has that much water. If we pull it, same sort of thing on the moon, right? As it was on Mars. We want to pull that water out of the planet so that we can put it on the surface. We don't want it underground. We want it on the ground. Yeah. Hope let me stop the rambling. I think this is where we'll bring the stream to a close. There isn't much more to be said. If you're watching later on the Twitch VOD or on YouTube, feel free to leave comments. If you're watching on Twitch live and you want to comment or respond to, now is the time to put in your comments, because I'll try to respond to them after I do the outro here and after I save the game. But until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.